Bula! Around the world, youths outnumber adults in correction facilities and mental institutions due to drug abuse.
And we need to curb this very important issue.
More often than not, peer pressure is a gateway to substance abuse and other high-risk activities.
And we're here to tell you that it's okay to say no.
Bulavinaka, I'm Bob.
And Bula, I'm Jane. Join us every weekday from 5:45 to 10 a.m. on the Biscuits for Breakfast show.
In the fight against drugs on Today FM, the home of today's hit music.
In the news tonight, government determined to assist those affected by TC Sarai. Police continue to monitor New Year's celebration. And a plastic bag ban starts today.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
The Prime Minister is determined to provide assistance to those Fijians whose lives were battered by tropical cyclone Sarai. In his New Year's address, Varainga Bainimarama says all relevant government branches are currently working to normalise all essential services. Koroi Tandulala has more.
Happy New Year and God bless Fiji.
The Prime Minister says TC Sarai is yet another call to strengthen the country's resilience to natural disasters.
Right now, my total focus is on the Fijians who, through no fault of their own, are recovering from yet another bout of severe weather. We will get services back online, and we will continue to invest in more resilient infrastructure, construct seawalls, plant mangroves, and implement other adaptive measures.
Bainimarama adds his government prioritizes the well-being of all Fijians.
I want every Fijian to know that I will never stop fighting to protect our well-being and our progress from the increasing frequency and intensity of these storms. We will build our resilience. We will support you in recovering and rebuilding. We will make the special effort to protect our children, the elderly, and those living with disabilities.
NDMO, together with the Commissioner Central and its stakeholders, focus for the next 24 hours is the distribution of food rations to the evacuation centres and the deployment of teams to the Eastern Division, mainly Kandavu and Southern Lao.
Bainimarama says the focus now is to rebuild the homes of those affected by TC Sarai.
We entered a new decade, bigger still, a new half-century, as 2020 marks 50 years in our onward march as an independent nation. But right now, my government is focused on restoring the services our people need and putting Sarai behind us.
With Fiji set to celebrate its 50th independence anniversary, Bainimarama says he will also be making some major announcement later this year. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Police were out in numbers last night to ensure the safety of all Fijians as we welcome the new year. Acting Police Commissioner Rusiate Tundravu says they had set up roadblocks at various places and the K9 operational team were also on standby. Kritika Kumar reports.
Acting Police Commissioner Rusiate Tundravu says proactive strategies were put in place to counter possible criminal activities. He adds, along with the roadblocks, there was more police presence in the towns and cities.
We'll be noting that there will be static roadblocks, snap roadblocks, and also the movement of our highway vehicles and traffic vehicles on the main highways, and also the deployment of our personnel to towns and cities.
While there have been reports of petty crimes, traffic infringements as well as other criminal elements committed by intoxicated people, the police force will continue their hunt for drug peddlers.
My warning to those that would like to transport drug peddlers on the street, we will be out in numbers. The overall effort is geared towards the people or the people of Fiji.
The divisional police commanders sat with nightclub security officers and they were all aware of their roles. The force is calling on parents to look after their children during festive season as the officers cannot be present everywhere. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation has warned the public to beware of people impersonating social welfare officers. The ministry highlights that there are some people going around in certain communities claiming that the government, through the Ministry of Women, is giving funds for Christmas and New Year spending to the amount of $1,000. The ministry's permanent secretary says some of these impersonators are asking the public to pay a fee of $90 to $150 for the processing of a promised Tropical Sarai relief fund amounting to $9,000. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Service will be monitoring the main port of entry to ensure there are no more importation of plastic bags. The single-use plastic bag ban has been implemented today, and many have been strictly adhering to the ban. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs team are currently at our main port of entry to ensure those traveling to and from abroad adhere to the ban in place.
So the customs team will look at any importation of thin single-use plastics being imported. They are now classed as prohibited, so the customs team will stop it at the borders. And in fact, I would encourage importers not to even bring it in, because then it carries the disposal expense and other things.
Fijians are now resorting to cartons to pack their groceries, as supermarkets are no longer issuing plastic bags.
For example, in supermarkets, if you do, for example, do your shopping there, and if you do not want to, buy the reusable bag which is sold in there, you have the option of using perhaps cartons. You have the options of using nothing, if you're just carrying one or two items.
Climate justice activist Laveta Nalangiseru says this will allow the younger generation to tap into the slow-fading art of basket weaving to help replace the use of plastic bags.
This plastic ban will change the behaviors and attitudes of how people see the environment as a core part, as an integral part of their lives.
The ban on the single-use plastic bag is the first step towards a more greener environment, as the government aims to ban the use of styrofoam containers and plastic straw by next year. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
In-market surveillance following TC Sarai, the Consumer Council has found defrosted and discoloured meat in the storage freezers of supermarkets. Council Chief Executive Seema Shandil says the supermarkets have been advised to separate this meat and ensure that it is destroyed. The Council is urging consumers to be careful and inspect any meat or products which may be on sale for low prices during this time. As some parts of the country are affected by Tropical Cyclone Sarai in the past few days, the Council is warning traders to refrain from selling food and other perishable items which have gone bad due to the power outage. A stern warning is being issued to supermarkets, butcheries and food retailers to destroy food items and meat that have thawed and become unsafe for human consumption. Up ahead, fire destroys home in Dombati. And Senganga celebrates New Year in style. Details after the break.
Caring for the environment is a duty we as citizens of this beautiful country must all uphold. The simplest thing you can do is put your rubbish in the bin. It's really that simple. Bulavinaka, I'm Dee, your host on Gold FM's The Rhyme. Join me every weekday afternoon from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And remember, if we save the earth, we save ourselves.
The National Fire Authority is urging Fijians to exercise caution when dealing with flammable materials this festive season. This is a family of 4 are now homeless after an early morning fire that completely destroyed their 4-bedroom house at Mama's Place in Dombati. Jose Nanunga with the details.
The fire that completely destroyed his 4-bedroom house started at 3:30 a.m. today, and owner Amaldeo recalled the time of the incident, saying they were lucky to escape.
I was sleeping. I just get off to save my life outside the house. I just ran, tell my wife to get out. We could not save anything.
Chief Fire Officer Ngioni Laumoditai says his team responded to the call, but efforts to save their belongings proved futile.
We found out that the 4-bedroom concrete building and a structured iron, corrugated iron, was engulfed with fire, and the brigade quickly established deliveries to try to stop the fire from spreading to other areas of the house.
Dale stated that his New Year's plan to renovate and expand the property is now shattered.
Newly I changed my all roofs and the palings and the newly painted. I also put some new rugs in the house, new freezer to have my life nicely. But by sudden neighbor's house, the fire started, destroyed all my life.
Meanwhile, the NFA and police investigation is underway to determine the cause of the fire. Chosai Nununga, FBC News.
Wape Matingai, a 45-year-old farmer in Sawani, cannot believe the devastating impact of TC Sarai on his farm. Matingai says the estimated cost of damage to his root crops is shocking, as he was looking forward to the harvest.
Trying to pick up what's left in his Ndalo farm, Moapi Mbatingai has expressed his disappointment.
I planted about 4,000 Ndalo on this farm. When I came back after the cyclone, I saw that over 1,000 Ndalo was washed away by the rising flood waters. I think maybe in the next few days, more root crops will die out.
Farming is his main source of income, and now he will have to look for alternatives to pay for his kids' education.
I don't have any other work, and this is my main source of income. And I don't know where else to get the money to pay for my children's education, because all these Ndalo are ready for harvest.
Batingai says he will try and make up for what he lost during TC Sarai.
With everything that has been damaged, including the fence, the damage cost is well over $2,000, and I'm really upset by this.
Batingai is seeking the assistance of the Ministry of Agriculture. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
It was a night full of fun and entertainment at the Senganga shopping centre in Maluata province yesterday. Hundreds had gathered at the 2019 street party hosted by the shopping centre to welcome the new year with their friends and families. Fijians ended the year on a positive note with high hopes and new resolutions. The street party in Senganga has become an annual event since 2011. Well, a mother's wish of having a baby boy has been granted in the wee hours of the new year. 32-year-old Siteri Rambativesi was overjoyed when she learned that a baby boy has been successfully delivered early this morning at the CWM hospital in Suva. Rambativesi currently has 2 daughters and has been longing to conceive a baby boy for years now.
I'm excited, super excited about having a baby boy because so far I've had girls all along. And this would be my first baby boy. Go home, relax, that's it, and enjoy my baby.
Thousands of residents in Victoria, Australia are stranded on a beach as the raging bushfire continues. New South Wales Police has confirmed 2 deaths with several people still missing. Ahead in sports, behavioural change vital for Fiji Sevens. And Bati Stars expected for Eels in round 1. This after the break.
साफ सुथरा वातावरण खूबसूरती बढ़ाता है, इसे गंदा मत करें। कूड़ा करकट को हमेशा सही तौर पर गार्बेज बिन में ही फेंकें। मैं जितेंद्र शांडिल, शामिल हो जाए मस्तानी शाम में मेरे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे शाम 4 से रात 7 बजे तक रेडियो फ्री 2 देश की धड़कन पर।
There are a lot of things happening behind the scenes to make sure the Fiji Airways men's 7 side achieve their goal for the season. It must have been a disastrous start to the new World Series in Dubai last month, but head coach Gareth Baber says as a team they are still hurting, but they will have to move on.
The national coach says behavioral change was missing after reviewing the team's performances in Dubai and South Africa.
That's what we would have looked at as a management, is to ensure that we're being as effective as we possibly can in our coaching, our management of the players, the discipline of the players, and all that, is about behavioural change. And we didn't see that in Dubai and South Africa. And, obviously our desire as a management and a playing group is to ensure that we do learn from that and we do move forward with it.
Baber says the coaching staff and team management, together with the players, recognize their defense, restarts and discipline as the 3 main issues as well that led to their downfall in the last 2 tournaments.
Not getting too carried away when you've won and not being too despondent when you've lost, and bringing the realities of why that's happened and facing up to and having good and open discussions with management to ensure that you are learning and moving on. And as you go through a year, it's important to keep those sort of milestones, that you make sure that you do learn from them.
The Fiji Sevens team will start their camp for the new year on Friday to prepare for the next tournament in Hamilton, New Zealand in 2 weeks' time. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
4 players with links to Fiji are expected to start for the Parramatta Eels in round 1 of the NRL. The Eels will kickstart the 2020 season against the Bulldogs on the 12th of March, with Vijimbati stars Micah Sivo and Wangam Blake both predicted by NRL.com to start along with Australian forward Regan Campbell-Gillard. Kane Evans has been included in the matchday 17 as one of the interchange players, but Sawad says if Campbell-Gillard and Kane Evans are to come off the bench, it would be frankly scary for opposition teams. Floyd Mayweather is the highest paid athlete of this decade according to Forbes. She began 2019 as a relatively unknown person in the world of sports, but 15-year-old Coco Gauff is now heading to the ASB Tennis Classics in Auckland, New Zealand as one of the most famous young stars on the planet. The Black Caps' present situation might be dismal, but at least they found their opener of the future. Australia have wrapped up a dominant series win with a game to spare, but the Black Caps had something to celebrate in the performance of Tom Blundell, who became the first New Zealander to score a century at the MCG with a stellar innings. Today, cloudy periods was experienced with brief showers of the southern and eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands. Taking a quick look at the west, there were cloudy periods with some showers. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, considerable cloudiness. It became breezy this afternoon with a few showers in the area late in the day. Up north, it was fine weather that was experienced, but some afternoon showers prevailed. At sea, very high seas with damaging heavy swells. You can expect the westerly winds to be 20 to 30 knots, gusting up to 45 knots. Rough to very rough seas are forecast. Now for the tides, the high tide is at 12:13 a.m. with low tide at 6:35 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:32. For the further outlook, cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands is forecast. Elsewhere, it should be fine, apart from afternoon or evening showers. Recapping the main stories, government determined to assist those affected by TC Sarai. Police continue to monitor New Year's celebration and plastic bag ban starts today. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM, Top World Question segment. This week, we're asking, should police arrest people who don't adhere to weather advisories? You can visit our FBC website to answer. Well, do send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us those news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Na wini matenganga ni beba matini taki errere maki. Waku ego tani mai na wini ngani beba matini taki. Menta dobata kavoluta kaborusa. Bola, wayago apini sararane. Wayago malika batelagana. Nama kikira o ena mataka bo. Ni ko itiri kali minute me ono kina tini na be mataka. Moni tiki na bo rombuka. Bola FM namba 2 na sere. Na sese ni recho namba 2 eviti.